I think you should stop feeling sad, and kiss me now, Misha demands, looking at Addy, whom she is carrying on her hip, with her big eyes lifted up helplessly on the hip of his taller, stronger wife inside the bathroom, especially when nobody else is there in the house. Addy gets a sinking feeling in the heart. Left with no choice, he proceeds to kiss her as it starts raining again outside. Misha is moaning slowly, and rubbing Addy's behind with her one hand, and his chest with her other, as she is still carrying him on her hip. Lifted up on the slim and soft hip of his beautiful wife, and being kissed passionately by her, even Addy starts feeling warm. Still carrying Addy on her hip, Misha now opens the shower, while still kissing him. Both are now under the shower wearing nothing. Lifting up Addy in a front piggyback, Misha is now enjoying the warmth of his body, and the hot water from the shower. Addy now realizes that Misha's sessions of carrying and kissing him is only increasing in duration, with each passing day. After a long session of kissing her husband, while carrying him on a front piggyback, under the shower, Misha lays Addy on the bathroom floor, and gets over him. Addy is now struggling to keep up with his wife's passion and stamina, as they spend a good amount of time making love. Misha is simply insatiable, and Addy senses that Misha is taking more and more time to finish with each passing day. The bathroom door finally opens. Misha now steps down into the bedroom floor wearing nothing, as she had not taken another pair of clothes. Addy is right behind her, feeling completely drained and worn out. He is not wearing anything either. Oops, I almost forgot, Misha suddenly says and stops, right at the bathroom door, with her back towards Addy. Addy does not notice that Misha has stopped suddenly, and continues walking towards her. Misha seizes the opportunity as Addy nears her. She effortlessly grabs his legs and balances his weight, as if it is nothing, on her. She lifts him up and places him on her back comfortably. Addy is confused. Just a second ago he was walking, and now, suddenly he is sitting piggyback on his wife. Oh God, how did this happen? Addy shrieks in disbelief. Misha starts laughing. My dear husband, did you forget my announcement, that I will carry you the whole day today, until the kids come back from school? Misha asks. What? Are you seriously wanting to do this? Addy asks in disbelief, as he is now lifted up in piggyback by his wife. Of course, I am serious, Misha says and carries Addy piggyback in front of the mirror. Addy is embarrassed to look himself in the mirror as he is lifted up in piggyback by his taller wife, especially as they are wearing nothing. Misha's long thick hair is acting like a black layer between Addy and her. How can you carry me the whole day like this? Addy asks. Of course I can, Misha says and lifts up her one leg. Still carrying Addy piggyback, Addy is speechless. Oh God, she has become so strong. She can now stand on one leg carrying me, Addy cries from inside. Addy now notices another thing, which surprises him further. Not only is Misha's body well toned, she is even developing a faintly visible six-pack abs. Addy is in disbelief as Misha is still carrying him piggyback, and standing in front of the mirror. Goodness, when did you develop six-pack abs? Have you been going to a gym? Addy asks. Misha starts laughing. No, my sweet husband, Mona has been training me in yoga, and also bodyweight exercises. I do plenty of push-ups, crunches, plank and abs workouts, Misha says, while still carrying Addy piggyback. Curses, I had no clue that Misha does so much workout daily, Addy thinks. Misha now flexes her biceps in front of the mirror, with Addy still lifted up piggyback. What is this? Her biceps are almost as big as my thighs now, Addy realizes in shock. This is so embarrassing. He touches her biceps and realizes they are rock hard. Oh God, I am looking so small compared to her now, Addy laments. Enough posing in front of the mirror, now let me carry you around the house, Misha says. Stretching her arms like the wings of a bird, with Addy still lifted piggyback, Misha runs to the dining room, hall, kitchen, and all the bedrooms, while still carrying the hapless Addy. Woohoo! I am flying like a bird, carrying my sweet husband with me, Misha shouts and runs around the house with speed. Both are still not wearing anything. Addy is now feeling cold as he is being carried piggyback all around the house, while wearing nothing. Misha, please stop, Addy pleads, shivering. I am so excited. This is the first time I have carried you piggyback, especially wearing nothing. I am so happy, Misha exclaims. After wearing clothes, Misha is now carrying Addy piggyback and is heating tea in the kitchen. Oh God, should I be carried the whole day like this? Addy is lamenting. Misha now washes all the utensils, while still carrying Addy piggyback. Meanwhile, Addy is preparing himself to question Misha about the bracelet given by Sid. And also that mysterious powerful woman who carried him to safety. Aunt Aisha and Mona, who have worn masks and raincoats, are walking on the road when they notice a group of electricity workers struggling. A worker is hanging from a pole desperately, as the ladder has suddenly broken and collapsed. The crane to lift up workers and equipment is stuck elsewhere in the city, due to heavy rains. The other workers are desperately looking for any help they can get. They also have some heavy electric poles lying on the road, which they are struggling to move. The workers have gotten together and are thinking of somehow catching that poor guy, who is hanging precariously on the pole. Can I help you, gentlemen? Aisha auntie asks. Sorry lady, we don't think you can help us. We need to save that poor guy hanging on the pole, as the ladder is broken. And also, we need to move this heavy pole to that side of the road, they say. Please let me try. I have been the village strong woman for many years, Aisha auntie replies. She removes her raincoat and is flexing her biceps. The workers are taken aback, looking at the strong and tall Aisha auntie, flexing her big hands and shoulders. Goodness, you do not look so big and tall at all, when you are wearing that raincoat, lady. In fact, we thought you both were sisters, the workers say. Let me help that poor guy hanging on the pole first. Aunt Aisha smiles and asks all of them to move away. The worker who is hanging on the pole is slowly losing grip. Aunt Aisha stands just below him. Just then, the worker falls down and lands on Aunt Aisha's single shoulder. Aunt Aisha shows her tremendous strength once again, as she successfully catches a fully grown man falling from a great height on her single shoulder. The workers are shocked beyond belief. Oh God, how can a middle-aged woman be so unbelievably strong? The poor worker, still being carried on the single shoulder of Aunt Aisha, is trembling in fear now. Aunt Aisha effortlessly moves him from her shoulder into a cradle, like he is some child, in her arms. All the workers are in disbelief, looking at the scene. Wow, Aunt Aisha, you are undoubtedly the strong woman of not only your village, but even this city, the workers exclaim. Come on, this is nothing, she says and places the worker on his feet. Aisha auntie now bends down, grabs the heavy wooden pole, and with a grunt lifts up the big pole alone in a deadlift. People nearby and the workers are looking in disbelief. Oh God, this lady alone lifted up that big pole, which we all together could not lift up, they realize. Aisha auntie carries the heavy poles and places it on the side of the road. People around are impressed by Aisha auntie's strength and appreciate her. We want a selfie with the strongest woman, who single-handedly solved all our problems so easily, the workers say. Mona is now taking a pic as Aunt Aisha has lifted up a worker each on her shoulder, and is also carrying another one cradle, while posing for a photo. Thanks to her sheer strength, Aunt Aisha quickly gets popular in the local social media. Meanwhile, Sid is still sleeping at his home, when his mom comes to the room, carrying a bucket along with a brush. Sid, now that you have recovered from the injury, we need your help to fix the leakage on the roof, she says. Sid's little sister Tanya is standing beside his mother giggling. Leakage in the roof? But when did this happen? Sid asks, yawning. Well, thanks to the heavy rains lately, our roof is slowly leaking water, so take this waterproof paint and apply it on the top, Mom says. Come on, Mom. I have just recovered from the injury. Can we do it tomorrow? Sid asks, yawning. Look, I have also got a broomstick along with the brush, Mom says. But why? Sid asks. If you don't use the brush, you will get a good thrashing with my broomstick, Mom threatens. All right, I will apply the paint on the roof, Sid replies, scared. Sid's little sister Tanya is just looking at all the drama and is smiling. Sid now washes up and comes out of the bathroom, brushing his teeth. Tanya is waiting for him. Look bro, shall we have a deal? She asks. Deal? Now what are you scheming so early this morning? Sid asks in suspicion. I know that you are scared of heights, she giggles, so I will help you apply the waterproof paint on the roof, but you will have to let me carry you, and also let me drive your new bike, Tanya proposes. Impossible, Sid replies and walks out of the room in anger. Tanya is still looking at him, smiling. Sid now wears some old clothes and steps out of the room carrying the paint and brush. His sister is now looking at him, smiling. Come on bro, jump on my back. I will carry you piggyback to the terrace, she says. Nice try, you little devil, but I won't take your help, Sid says and climbs up the stairs. Sid now reaches the terrace. Curses, this is really scary, Sid says, looking below from the terrace, at a ledge. My offer still stands, big bro, Sid's sister Tanya says from behind. Sid is literally shaking, looking at the ground. From high above, his head starts spinning slightly too. Oh no, I think I have no other option than to let Tanya help me, Sid thinks. Sid turns and looks at his sister, who is still smiling. So big bro, you will have to let me carry you, and after that, I will climb on the ledge and paint the surface, she says. Curses, all these years, I never let my sister carry me, but now, it is getting impossible to say no to her. If she manages to carry me now, then it will be over. She will tease me that she is the stronger sibling all my life. I will be doomed, Sid thinks in desperation. Why the delay bro? Let us finish this soon. You still have another 3 places to apply the paint, she says. Still in 3 places? Sid asks in surprise. Of course big bro, I have spotted all the places and have planned accordingly, Tanya says. Curses, she seems to have prepared for this thoroughly, Sid thinks. Still, she is shorter and lighter than me. I don't think she can manage to carry me properly, he thinks. Sid now stands near his little sister now. Fine then, have your way, he says. Sid's little sister Tanya now comes towards him, smiling. She bends down, wraps her arms around his behind, and lifts him up in a front lift. Sid is shocked. Tanya is now standing comfortably, smiling and looking up at her big bro Sid, whom she has lifted up in a front lift. Curse it, Tanya lifted me up so easily, and if that is now enough, she is even now carrying me comfortably with a smile. What have I done to deserve this? Sid laments. Sid tries to shake his body, hoping that Tanya will lose balance and put him down, but Tanya is standing solid while still carrying him from the front. Sid rests his hands on Tanya's shoulders, surprised that she is still managing to carry him. Sid now realizes that he is being lifted up by his little sister on the rooftop of his house, and that anyone can spot him being carried by his sister. Tanya, please put me down, Sid pleads his sister. Tanya puts him down with a sigh of satisfaction. So I finally lifted up my big bro, for the first time. I am so excited, Tanya says in glee. And you are so easily liftable. I never expected that you can be carried so easily, Tanya says. No wonder that tall girl in mask carried you all the way to the room, she says. Sid is feeling really embarrassed now. Tanya now puts Sid back on the floor. This is not over yet, big bro. This lift was only for that ledge. There are still 3 more ledges, Tanya says and climbs over the parapet wall towards the ledge. 3 more? Sid asks in disbelief. Of course, I have planned everything, Tanya says. Sid is shocked as Tanya is now applying the paint on the ledge, despite being really close to the edge of the roof. Curses, Tanya is definitely much braver than me, Sid thinks, and probably stronger too, he thinks in worry. Tanya now climbs back after applying the waterproof paint on one of the ledges. Well bro, I will carry you in a different style again, and then paint the other ledge, she announces. This is not fair, Sid protests. You did not say that you will carry me every time you paint a ledge, he says. Well, you could paint it yourself then big bro, Tanya says, handing him the brush. Sid does not know what to reply now. Sid looks below from the roof, a chill runs through his spine. Fine, have it your way, Sid says in despair. I knew it, Tanya replies in excitement and claps her hand in glee. Tanya now stretches her arm towards Sid. Come sit on my hip big bro, Tanya says. Sid cannot believe what he is hearing. You want to carry me on your hip? It is impossible, Sid shrieks. Just imagine, a big brother lifted up on the hip of his little sister, that too on the terrace of the house, in the middle of the city. It will be horrible, Sid thinks. Look Tanya, I think you have carried me long enough. I cannot let you carry me again, he says. Come on big bro, all sisters dream of carrying their brothers from childhood. I am no different, Tanya says. And besides, I am the one applying the paint on the ledges, she says showing the brush, so I am the one to decide. Sid realizes that he has no other option now. He comes closer to her. Come big bro, don't feel worried, you will be in the safe hands of your little sister, Tanya says. Tanya now smoothly picks him up from the side using her hip, and is now standing comfortably carrying her elder brother in a hip lift. Sid is shocked. Curses, she lifted me on her hip so effortlessly. Oh God, this is a disaster. How can her slim waist manage to carry my full weight so effortlessly, Sid thinks. Carrying her big bro on her hip, Tanya is really happy. Thank you God, Tanya shouts looking at the sky, while still carrying Sid on her hip. I finally managed to carry my brother on my hip. This was my childhood wish, she says. Will you stop shouting like this, Sid shrieks, as he is still lifted up on the slim Tanya's hip. Do you want to announce it to the whole locality, that you can carry your brother on a hip lift? Sid asks in desperation. Come on, all my friends carry their brothers on their hip. It is only you, who never let me carry you since childhood. But still, it was worth the wait. Now I am so happy, Tanya says and stretches both her hands gleefully in the air, with Sid still lifted up on her hip. Curses, I really hope that nobody spots me being lifted and carried by my sister like this, Sid thinks. Still carrying Sid on her hip, Tanya now walks near the ledge. Sid hugs Tanya tightly in fear looking below, as she is still carrying him on her hip. Tanya really likes this. Oh my sweet bro, you look so cute when lifted up by a girl, she says. Hey, how about I carry you on my hip and climb over the ledge, and apply the paint, while still carrying you on my hip, Tanya suggests. Are you crazy? That is so risky, Sid exclaims in terror. He hugs her tightly again while still lifted up on her hip. I was just joking big bro, Tanya laughs. She now takes out her mobile phone from the pocket, and while still carrying her older brother on her hip, starts taking selfies. Sid covers his face in embarrassment as she is taking selfies. Tanya starts laughing. Sid is now waiting on the terrace, as Tanya finishes painting the waterproof paint on another side of the ledge. As Tanya climbs back from the ledge, Sid is ready. Quick, carry me once more and quickly paint the other ledge, Sid says. Come on bro, I want to enjoy the moment of lifting and carrying my big bro, that too in a slow and peaceful manner. Please don't hurry, Tanya replies. And besides, what is the hurry, she says. So we have another 2 sides of the ledge left. It is time to get lifted up by your little sister again bro, Tanya says with a sparkle in her eyes. Fine, do you want to carry me again on your hip, Sid asks. No, I will carry you like that some other time, but now you will come into my arms, Tanya says and stretches both her arms towards him. No way, you want to carry your elder brother in a cradle, it is impossible, Sid replies. Why can't we try once, bro, and then decide? Tanya says in confidence. Meanwhile, the doorbell of Sid's house rings below. His mom opens the door. Oh, it is you again, Sid's mom says to the visitor. Sid now comes closer to his little sister Tanya on the terrace. Come on, bro, why are you so tense? Just stand in the correct position, she says. Holding Sid by his waist on one hand, Tanya now holds out her other hand. Rest your legs on my other hand, Tanya says. Sid thinks, if he jumps abruptly, she will lose balance and will not be able to hold his weight. He jumps onto her arms. To Sid's horror, Tanya holds his weight on her arms. Curses, she is able to carry my full weight in her arms. Oh man, this is not good, Sid thinks. Still carrying Sid on her arms in a cradle, on the terrace of the house, Tanya starts laughing. I knew it. I always knew I could carry my elder bro in a cradle, Tanya shouts in the air. As Tanya is standing on the terrace carrying her older brother, like a princess in her arms. Strong wind starts blowing. Addy hugs Tanya, while he is still lifted up on her arms. What did you think, bro, that I cannot carry you? I have in fact carried friends who are heavier than you, Tanya announces, laughing like a villain. Curse it, Tanya turned out to be much stronger than I expected. Sid laments, and now I am lifted up on the arms of my sister for the first time in life. I am doomed now, Sid cries from inside. As Tanya is laughing heartily carrying Sid cradle on her arms on the terrace, the visitor now comes to the terrace. It is the same tall, strong girl, wearing a mask and raincoat, who lifted up Sid and carried him home that day. Curses, why is she here? Sid shrieks. Oh my god, a little sister carrying her elder brother in her arms, like a princess. How cute is that? She says. Oh god, why is this happening to me? Sid laments. Tanya, put me down now, Sid commands. No, Tanya replies in defiance. You are not getting down from my arms anytime soon, she says. The tall girl in the raincoat now comes near Tanya. Wow, Tanya, I did not know that you like to carry boys, she says. Of course, what is the fun of being a girl if she does not carry boys? Tanya replies. I am so happy for you. Can you pass on Sid into my arms? The tall girl in the raincoat says. Still carrying her elder brother Sid in a cradle, Tanya thinks for a second. Well, you are in our home, and I am also here, so I think it is safe to let my bro get lifted up by some other girl, Tanya says. What is this girl saying? Sid wonders. Come on, I was just joking. Tanya laughs and hands over Sid, whom she is carrying cradle, towards the tall girl in the raincoat. The tall girl comfortably picks up Sid from his little sister's arms, into her arms, like he is some little kid. Sid is cursing at his situation. If getting lifted up by my pesky little sister was not enough, I am being lifted up in a cradle by another girl now. What a horrible day it is today, Sid thinks. Mom suddenly calls Tanya from below. You both keep talking, I will be back soon, Tanya says and runs downstairs. Lifted up by an attractive and tall, strong girl in a cradle, Sid's heart is beating fast now. I am sorry to have visited you suddenly, but I really need your help, the tall girl says, while still carrying Sid in cradle. I will be glad to help you, but will you please put me down? I have been lifted up by my sister since a long time, Sid says. The tall girl in the raincoat now puts Sid back on his feet. Sid is really relieved. Thanks, he says. The tall girl in the raincoat suddenly comes close to Sid now, towering over him. Do you remember when last time, when I came to your house, carrying you Piggyback? She asks in a tense tone. Yes, of course. After that my sister has been hell-bent on carrying me, and as a result, you saw me lifted up on her arms just now, Sid says, annoyed and almost in tears. Oh dear, I am really sorry that you had to experience all this, she apologizes. But I wanted some information from you. Please will you help me? She grabs Sid's hand with a little desperation. Sid is terrified. Not only is she towering over him, she is even holding his hands tightly and breathing heavily. All right, I will help you, but please don't come so close to me, Sid says. Did I drop any bracelet in your home when I visited your house last time? The tall girl asks, looking below into Sid's eyes. Yes, you had dropped a golden bracelet. I had found it, Sid says, feeling nervous. The tall girl wearing raincoat is really happy to hear this. Oh, thank goodness, the tall girl exclaims. She happily bends down and lifts Sid up into a high front lift. Sid is terrified as he is lifted up high in the air by a tall and powerful woman, that too on the terrace of his own home. Oh my God, you lifted me up so high in the air, Sid shrieks. Can you give me the bracelet? She asks as she looks up, carrying Sid on a high front lift. I gave the bracelet to Addy, Sid replies. What? You gave the bracelet to Addy? Oh no, but when did you meet him? The girl asks in a worried voice. Meanwhile, in Addy's house, Misha has lifted up Addy on her hip and at the same time, using the vacuum cleaner to clean the floor. Lifted up on the hip of his tall and strong wife, Addy musters courage and asks her, what happened to that bracelet, which I had gifted to you, Misha? Addy asks her, as she is busy cleaning the floor, while holding him on her hip with her other hand. Oh, that golden bracelet. I have given it to Aunt Aisha for a while, Misha replies. Addy is in disbelief hearing this. The story will continue, gentlemen. Stay tuned for the next part.